Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to speak about the sum, difference, and cofunctions. Starting with the sum and difference identities. As we said before, the identity it is an equation which is true for any value for the given variable, theta or x. It is all the time the left-hand side equal to the right-hand side. In the last part, we spoke about the fundamental identities, reciprocal, and Pythagorean identities, and even and odd identities. In this part, we speak about the sum and difference identities. Starting with the first one, cosine alpha minus beta. For that, we have two angles, alpha minus beta. And cosine alpha minus beta is given to be cosine alpha, cosine beta, plus sine alpha, sine beta. I have to notice one thing. For cosine alpha minus beta, the sign is plus on the right-hand side. So cosine alpha minus beta equal to cosine alpha cosine beta plus sine alpha sine beta. For the sum, cosine alpha plus beta, it is cosine alpha cosine beta minus sine alpha sine beta. For the sine function, sine alpha minus beta is equal to sine alpha cosine beta minus cosine alpha sine beta. So for the sine function, it is mixed sine cosine, cosine sine. For the cosine, it is cosine times cosine and sine times sine. But for the sine alpha, the sine alpha minus beta will give me sine alpha cosine beta minus, it is the sign as are matching, sine negative in the left will be negative in the right, or subtracting in the left will be subtracting in the right. And sine alpha plus beta equal to sine alpha cosine beta plus cosine alpha sine beta. For the tangent, the tangent alpha plus beta equal to tangent alpha plus tangent beta over 1 minus tangent alpha tangent beta. For the difference, tangent alpha minus beta is tangent alpha minus tangent beta divided by 1 plus tangent alpha tangent beta. So these are the sum and difference identities. Let's take some examples how to use or apply these identities to find values for some trigonometric function for non-special angles. For example, number one, I need to find the exact value for the given expressions. In the first example, sine 45 plus 30. 45 plus 30 equal to 75. So we need to find the sine of 75 using the sum identities. So example number one, it is sine 45 plus 30. Sometimes can be given as sine. I need to find sine of 75, which is given in this example as sine 45 plus 30. So we are looking for the special angles. Special angles are 30, 45, and 60. Now sine 45 plus 30, this is sine alpha plus beta. We go back to this one, the first one. Sine alpha plus beta equal to sine alpha cosine beta plus cosine alpha sine beta. So this is equal to sine 45 multiplied by cosine of 30. This is alpha, this is beta. So it is cosine alpha plus beta, it is sine cosine. Plus, now reverse. Sine 45, we'll take cosine 45 now. Cosine 45 multiplied by sine of 30. So this is equal to sine 45 equal to square root of 2 divided by 2 multiplied by cosine 30 square root of 3 divided by 2 plus cosine 45 is square root of 2 divided by 2 multiplied by sine 30 is 1 over 2, which give me that is square root of 6 over 4 plus square root of 2 divided by 4, which can be written as square root of 6 plus square root of 4 divided by 4. So this is the exact value of sine 75 or sine 45 plus 30. Next one, I need to find sine 330 plus 400, or sorry, plus sine 45. Sine 330 plus 45. So in the second example, I need to find sine of 330 plus 45. Again, this is sine alpha plus beta, which is equal to sine of alpha, which is 330, multiplied by cosine 45 plus cosine of 330 multiplied by sine 45. Now 330, it is in the fourth quadrant. This is in the fourth quadrant. So we need to find the reference angle. In the fourth quadrant, the reference angle theta prime equal to 360 minus 30. In the fourth quadrant, the reference angle is 360 minus 30, which is equal to 30. But the sign in the fourth quadrant is negative. So we have to be careful about this one. So it is minus, because sign in the fourth quadrant is negative. So it is minus sine of 30 multiplied by cosine 45 plus cosine in the fourth quadrant is positive, so there is no change in the sign of the cosine. It will be cosine of the reference angle, which is 330, or so it is just 30. The reference angle is 30 multiplied by 45, sine of 45. This is equal to minus sine of 30 is 1/2 cosine 45 square root of 2 divided by 2 plus cosine of 30 square root of 3 divided by 2 multiplied by sine of 45 is square root of 2 divided by 2. So I will have minus square root of 2 divided by 4 plus square root of 6 divided by 4. So it will be minus square root of 2 plus square root of 6 all divided by 4. So this is the exact value of sine 330 plus 45. Take one more example. Question number 3, that is given cosine 45 minus 30. Cosine 45 minus 30, or this is cosine of 15. Cosine of 15, 1/5. Cosine 15, which is equal to 45 minus 30. I can use the difference angle now. That will be it is cosine alpha, which is 45, multiplied by cosine. So if we are using the cosine function, then cosine alpha minus beta, it will give me cosine times cosine. So it is cosine 45 minus cosine 30. But this is, since it is negative, you have to be careful. It will be plus addition. So cosine 45 multiplied by cosine 30 plus sine 45 multiplied by sine 30. This will give me cosine 45 is square root of 2 divided by 2 multiplied by cosine of 30, which is equal to square root of 3 divided by 2 plus sine 45 square root of 2 divided by 2 multiplied by sine 30, which is equal to 1/2. So the answer is equal to 4. It will be square root of 2 times square root of 3 will be square root of 6 plus square root of 2. So cosine 45 minus 30 will give me square root of 6 plus square root of 2 divided by 4. Take one more, one just last example, that is number 4, which is cosine 120 minus 45. Cosine of 120 minus 45, which is equal to, this is cosine alpha minus beta. So it is cosine of 120 multiplied by cosine 45 plus, again, if cosine, the difference between two angles will give me addition, plus sine 120 multiplied by sine 45. Now cosine 120, this is in the second quadrant. So the reference angle is 180 minus 120, which is equal to 60. So I have to find the reference angle, which is equal to 60, because this is in the second quadrant. But the cosine in the second quadrant is negative. So this is negative minus cosine 60 multiplied by cosine 45 plus sine in the second quadrant is positive. So there will be no change in the sign of this function. So it will be plus, as it is sine of 60 multiplied by sine 45. This will give me minus cosine 60 will be minus 1/2 multiplied by cosine 45 square root of 2 divided by 2 plus sine of 60 square root of 3 divided by 2 multiplied by square root of 2 divided by 2. This will give me, I will have 4 down. It is minus square root of 2 plus square root of 6 divided by 4. So this is the exact value of this function cosine 120 minus 45, or it is cosine of 75. It is minus square root of 2 plus square root of 6 divided by 4.